Hello there. It's been a while, but here I am for a new character deep dive on one of my favorite manga, Pandora Hearts. But first, I want to share a bit of news with you. Firstly, I'm back, and for good if things stay my way. Secondly, I have some questions for you, dear viewer. Number 1. Do you actually watch my videos? Or do you just let them play in the background? There is no shame if you do, but since the editing takes the longest, I was wondering if I should just do a podcast-style video with a few images when needed. But if you wish to keep the videos as they are, no worries, just let me know. Number 2. What do you want to see next? I have a million ideas, but I don't know which one to pick. I want to make a video on fun facts about Vanitas no Kate, the other manga series of Jun Mochizuki. I already made a video on Season 1 of Vanitas. I was a bit mad at the time. Season 2 put my anger to rest. I also want to continue making PH character deep dives. So who do you want to see next? Let's make a vote in the comments, okay? I have some silly ideas too, like a long review of the game Hello Charlotte, and possibly a character deep dive of that game too? Or a top 5 of anti-ships. So yeah, if any of these seem interesting to you, please tell me. That is all for now. I really want to know your answers. Honestly, it's not a ploy to get comments. I need to know what people want to see so I can put my efforts at the right places. Alright, back to our subject at hand now. Now, you may be thinking, why Ada? There are many more interesting characters than her in PH. Well, it's simple. For starters, I wanted a simpler video to get me back into things. PH characters are great, but their story can be so complicated. And also, I love Ada, truly. She should have been a forgettable character by all means, but she's not. And so, I wanted to talk about her. I will discuss the purpose of her character, how she actually is portrayed, and how her arc was resolved. And so, we shall begin. Ada Vessalius. The purpose of her character. Ada is a support character through and through. She is the little sister of Us Vessalius, and a childhood friend of Gilbert, the two male leads. She represents family and what they left behind to pursue their goals. Her role in the story could be compared to Penelope for Ulysses, or Aunt May for Spider-Man, for a more modern example. Usually those characters are pretty boring. They don't do much, they usually can't fight, and are really only there to serve the story. But Jun Mochizuki is a good author, and her strong suits are characters. And so even the passive and sweet little Ada is more than meets the eyes. The real Ada Vessalius. Ada is the youngest child of the Vessalius dukedom, one of the 4 dukedoms that reign over the country. And as such, she has always lived the comfortable life of an upper-class lady, surrounded by her beloved big brother, her dear friend Gilbert, her cat Dinah, and her uncle Oscar. But at the age of 8, a tragedy struck her family when her brother mysteriously disappeared. No one really wanted to explain the situation clearly to the young girl, but by listening in, she learned her brother was sent to the Abyss, a legendary hell dimension. Ada grew up very sheltered. She never partook in the business of Pandora, and never made a contract with a chain, like her father did. But she never forgot the kindness of her older brother, and grew up to become a sweet but naive young lady. And with her position as daughter of a duke, she was the perfect victim for ill-intentioned people, such as Vincent Nightray, a manipulative, cruel bastard who took an interest in the young girl. Since he is the blood brother of her old friend Gilbert, he took that opportunity to get closer to her. He wanted to taint her, pervert her, and make her do what he wants for his nefarious plans. As I said, Ada is a nice, but naive girl. And so, when Vincent asked the young girl to show him the real her, Ada complied, took him to the remote and empty mansion of her family to show Vincent the real her, a fan of the occult. You see, since she lost her brother to the abyss, she made all the research she could on the subject, and ended up taking an interest in anything witchy, creepy, and dark magic-y. I truly love that they gave her this quirky hobby, a hobby that makes total sense with her predicament. Also, no bedroom action happened after that. Ada just forced Vincent to listen to her talking about her passion for hours, while he complied because he still wants to use her later. It's not a lot of characterization, but for a minor character like Ada, it's just enough to get us interested in her. But the thing I truly admire of Ada is her courage. Not a regular courage. She is not secretly a master of the swords like Elizabeth from Black Butler, but her courage is one of a simple girl who just wants to protect those she loves. In chapter 54, a great massacre was happening during a ball, and the usually sadistic and cruel Vincent was terrified. This massacre was reminding him of the one he saw as a child, and he was losing it. When Ada came to comfort him, he mistook her for a ghost of his past and yelled at her to get out of his sight. So she left. A bit later, when Vincent regained his senses, he heard a sound from the hallway. He then saw Miss Ada dragging a sword she could not lift, and telling him she would protect him while not being on his line of sight. She understood that Vincent was in no shape to defend himself, and thought someone should protect him, even though she was clearly not strong enough to do so. She resembles a lot her brother in that way. Ada is no fighter, but she will help if she can, and I find that truly admirable. And even if she thought herself weak, she always faced danger with a smile, just like the rest of her family. The end of Ada Vessalius's arc. I can't say much about it. I'm in the process of writing a Vincent deep dive, and Ada plays a crucial part in the end of his character arc. That is also the reason why I made this video, so I don't have to introduce Ada in that video and can concentrate on Vincent himself. But in summary, Ada Vessalius is a support character. She doesn't have cool powers, she's not related to the plot of Sablier or Alice's Memory, but she is so important to a lot of people, and we can see why. So many of those character types are important to the protagonists, but not to us, the readers. Not Ada. I cared about her so much. I wanted her to be safe and happy, not because Oz wanted it, but because she deserved it. The only thing I regret with her character arc is that there never was a conclusion with her feud with Elliot Nightray, her rival from school. He hates Ada because of a silly feud between their families, but the two never actually became friends. I would have really wanted to see Elliot understand that Ada is truly a good person. Oh well. And so, thank you for listening. I really hope it was worth the wait. Please vote on the character you'd want a character deep dive on next time, and tell me if my video ideas seem interesting or not. You know the rest. Subscribe, like, all that. I have a Webtoon I'm starting soon, and an Instagram. Alright, see ya, I hope, very soon.